Hello home bosses. Thank you very much for joining me today, and in this video I want to address some of the questions that I get asked quite often. There are some questions that keep popping up on my Facebook group and here on YouTube, and I thought I'd make a video about them because it seems that they are a common problem for some of you. So the first question I get asked very often is, how many pages should my colouring book be, or how many pages should my planner be? The answer to that is quite simple. This is your book. You can make it as many pages as you like. There is no right or wrong. And some of you have asked, how many pages sell best? So I think that is really what everybody's asking. You're asking, how many pages should I make my book so that it has the best chance of selling? And again, there's really no answer to questions like that because nobody knows. It can change from season to season and from book to book. The best thing you can do is to look at your competition and have a look and see what other authors are publishing in your niche, because every niche is different. So most of the time I see that colouring books are generally on the larger side, like 8.5 by 11 inches. But I find that lined notebooks are typically 6 by 9 inches. But there is no standard or no best size. It just depends on what you want to create. So the way I would find out when I want to create a book and I'm not sure what's the better size for this book, what I do is I go on Amazon and I look and see what my competition is doing in my niche. Let's say, for example, I want to create a Halloween colouring book. So we type this into the search bar. I've spelled colour the UK way and it's corrected me to the US way, but some people have also asked me, how should we spell our books? Should we use the UK spelling version or the US? I would say it doesn't really matter. I think Amazon picks up both versions of the spelling. I know in Canada I think it's spelled the same as in the UK and in Australia, and in the US it's COLOR. I don't think it makes a difference on Amazon. Just spell it the way you would normally do, and I'm sure everybody knows that colour spelled like that is the same as our colour with OUR. So let's have a look. There's quite a few zombie unicorns. I like how what people create with Halloween. It's quite funny. So let's have a look at any of them. I've got the feeling, I can't really tell by just looking at the covers, but I've got the feeling they're probably 8.5 by 11. But we can have a look and see. I think my extension isn't working in incognito. Let me just quickly check that. I'll just quickly fix my extension and then I'll come back. So it looks like my extensions aren't working. I did switch it on for incognito mode, but it's not happening at the moment, so it doesn't matter. We'll just do it the manual way, and we've had to do that recently anyway because some of the extensions were not working for a few days. I don't know if you had that as well, but it's a little bit of a pain because then you have to click on each book. But it doesn't matter. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. So let's have a look. Let's click on this one, and I want to find out what size this book is. And it's 85 pages and it's 8.5 by 11. So that's one of them where the size is exactly what we predicted. Let's have a look at another one. Let's have a look at this one. This is a colouring book by numbers. That's interesting. Right, so let's have a look. This is only 54 pages and 8.5 by 11 inches in size, again, as predicted. So I don't think we have to look at too many more. Let's have a look at this Zombie Unicorns Halloween book. That's caught my imagination. I quite like that. That's 102 pages, so you get more value for your money, and it's 8.5 by 11. So I think we can honestly say most of them are 8.5 by 11. and they tend to be under 100 pages, so not so many pages. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that you could make your books 8.5 by 11 under 100 pages and it's fine. But why not do something different? You could make a square coloring book where you use one of the sizes that is a square book, or you could make a book that's a lot more coloring pages, like 150 coloring pages. That would be good value for money. Obviously, you would have to charge a little bit more, but I'm not afraid of charging more for a book that is really good quality and gives the customer good value. So, you don't have to follow what other people are doing. You can do your own thing. You can make something different. And if it doesn't work, then you can follow what other people are doing. But it's always worth a try to be different and to stand out. So it looks like the sizes are 8.5 by 11 generally. But like I said, you can make it any size that you like. It's your book. But that is one option that you have. So let's try a different niche and see if that is the same as this one. I noticed that the coloring book niche is very similar. They're all very similar, same sizes, more or less under 100 pages. Let's see if that's the same in other niches. I've got the feeling different niches have got different sizes and different page numbers. Let's imagine that we want to create a diabetes logbook. So let's type that in. And now it's working. So let's have a look. So we can see a few diabetes logbooks here. Let's click on some of them and find out what the authors have done with these. So this one, for example, is 102 pages and it's 6 by 9. So again, a little bit what I expected really. And let's have a look at another one. This one is 54 pages, not much in it, 6 by 9. I'm curious to see what the inside is. It's got 40 ratings and I must admit I'm surprised because I think this cover is a little bit simple in my opinion. It's just a black background with writing on it, and I know swearing is very popular, so maybe that's why it has a lot of sales. Let's have a look at the inside. So that's quite good. Emergency page. So it really has a lot of space to put in your data, your figures for your values after breakfast and before. So it's quite a nice interior. So yes, I can see why people buy that. So 6 by 9, 54 pages. Maybe you could make it a few more pages. Let's have a look at the reviews. They're happy with this. This person says, I wish there was more space to put the time for each meal. So that's an idea. Sometimes it's good to read the reviews in other books because it gives you ideas on how you can improve your book. So this one's quite popular and we know now that it's a 6 by 9. Let's have a look at some other ones. It is Daily Planner and Blood Sugar Tracker. This is a similar type of book. Let's have a look. And this one is 182 pages. Wow, you can see this is a lot bigger, a lot more content. And again, it's 6 by 9. So the difference between this book and the last one we looked at is the size in terms of interior. The number of pages is a lot more. So let's have a look at this interior. I'm always curious to see what other people are doing. So again, it's got an emergency page. And this is the interior of this tracker, which is, there is a little bit more information that you can put in. But again, very simple to make, very good niche to go into. And again, we found out that it's 6 by 9 is really the size that we're looking for. We'll have another look at one more. Let's see. Sugar, nah, I'm sweet enough. That's quite a good cover. And let's see. This one again is 6 by 9 and it's 108 pages. So we can safely say that a popular size for diabetes logbooks is 6 by 9 inches. So I hope that has showed you how you would answer your questions regarding size or page numbers or anything else that you want to know when you are creating a book. Have a look at your competition and that will give you some ideas. Some of the other questions that I keep getting is, can you give me some good niches? Unfortunately, that is a really difficult one to answer because every niche is good. It's just making a really good book that will sell in that niche that is the problem. So good niches are something that you have to find by doing your research. And if somebody gave me a list of niches on a plate and said, make those books in these niches, there would still be no guarantee that my book sells more than any other book or that it sells better than in any other niche. Because now the situation on Amazon has changed from when people started on KDP. When people started a few years back, it was a new thing that people were creating low content and no content books. Now it's not so new. There are a lot of people creating books, and it doesn't mean that it's saturated, because I think a big platform like Amazon can never be saturated. There's always space for another book if it's a good book. What I do find is that Amazon is saturated with low quality books, the kind of books that have the same cover with just a small change in the words of the title, or just some books that people have made really quickly. And I know that some people upload a lot of books every day, and I don't think that is ideal, because then you are creating a lot of noise on Amazon without any substance. And it's better to create something that is of quality that people want to buy. Ask yourself one question when you create a book. Would you buy your book? Do you have a need for that book? And if the answer is no, then don't make it, because I think if you wouldn't buy your own book, then that means not many other people would buy it either. You have to be honest with yourself and look at your book through another person's eyes, or put yourself in other people's position, and then look at your book and think, is this a book that I want to buy? And I've created books at the beginning when I was starting that I wouldn't buy now, because they're just not good enough. And I did them because at the time that's all I knew. I was just starting, and I thought, let me try this. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist usually, but I thought, if I don't put this book out now, I'll never put a book out. And I just made a book and put it on Amazon. And of course, they're not great. They're not, my first books are awful. And I think everybody's first books are probably not that good. But that's how you learn, and that's how you create better books. And I'm really proud of the books that I create now. And this is why people buy them. And that's such a good feeling to have. So try and create books that you would buy yourself, and that you really like and you are proud of. And that is always better than finding a great niche. Because with questions about niches, I always say, yes, there are still niches out there that are high volume and low competition, but it's a job finding them now. It's getting harder and harder. So sometimes you just have to say, okay, this niche is not low competition. There is a high competitiveness to this niche, but I'm still going to create a book because I love this book and I think this can compete with the other books out there. So you have to look at it in a realistic way. And some people will say, well, if it's high competition, it's not realistic to publish a book in it. I disagree. I think you can still try it. It's free to put a book on Amazon at the moment. Don't take advantage of that by putting low quality books out. Just take advantage, but give it the respect it deserves and create really good books to put on Amazon, because you will succeed that way. It's absolutely okay to put a book in a saturated niche if that book can compete with all the other good quality books that are in that niche. So when you're saying, or when you're asking me, can you give me a list of niches? I can definitely give you a list of ideas and a list of niches, but you still have to do a little bit of research, because your country might be different to the country I'm searching in. For example, I sell a lot of books in the UK, and I'm kind of concentrating on that now because I feel that I'm selling more in the UK than in the US. I don't know what the reason could be for that. I'm still trying to figure out why that is, but that's how it is, and I'm just going with it. I'm not fighting it. I think, if the UK are buying more of my books, then that's who I'm going to create books for. So and then if I catch up later on with the US, then that's fantastic. I would say to you, have a look at the list of niches that I've got on Gumtree. I've got a few free ones, and I've got one that's huge, which is only $5.99. And they give you really good ideas, but you still have to do a little bit of research because it varies from person to person, from country to country. You can't rely. There is no magic niche, or there's no magic way to look for niches. It's hard work, but it's where you get your ideas from that can really help. The best-selling book that I've got, that is where I make most of my income from. I got the idea for that book while I was in a bookstore. This was before the pandemic. My husband and I were in Waterstones. We love going to that shop because we love books and we love looking at them. And I just took some photos of some books that I thought were really nice. And when I got home, I looked at them and I got some ideas and I made the books, and they really took off. So sometimes it's where you get your ideas from, not so much the niche. I didn't even do any research on that. I just really liked the book so much that I thought I want to produce a book like that. And when I did some research later, after I had already made the book, it turned out that it was quite a competitive niche. So I probably wouldn't have created that book if I had done my research first, but because I really wanted to make a book like that, and I loved the result of it, I put that book on Amazon, and it's now my bestseller. So this is why I want to let you know that it's not all about niches. It is important, and it is really important you do your research, but just think outside the box a little bit and be a little bit different, and you can definitely sell books in saturated niches as well. And the other thing that I will maybe emphasize a little bit more on this channel is how to promote your books and how to market your books. So expect some videos on that, and I hope you like them, because it's something that I haven't found much on KDP. I don't think people talk enough about how to market your books, and we are in such a great position to market our books because of the internet, because of social media, because of all the tools that are available to us for free in many cases. Sometimes you have to pay for adverts or for things like that. So yes, there is a cost to some of it, but there are a lot of free ways to advertise your books as well. And I will be making some videos on that in the future. So I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.